If we had to list the best camera phones out there, we choose the iPhone 5S, the LG G2, the Nokia Lumia 1020, the Sony Xperia Z1 and the Samsung Galaxy S4 Zoom. Here's why. Kicking off with the iPhone 5S, it's the simplest, quickest sharpshooter on the block. Loaded up with an 8 megapixel camera and a True Tone LED flash, the camera fires fast, takes good pictures and the flash illuminates the situation with better colour accuracy than any other phone around. The user interface is incredibly simple. Just tap to focus and take your shot. You can shoot in panorama or HDR mode, but as far as any more manual tweaks go, you won't find them here. You will find plenty of shooting modes on the LG G2 though. Giving you the ability to adjust exposure compensation and white balance, the G2 also lets you delete background elements, take soft beauty shots, and picture-in-picture photos using both cameras. The best thing about the 13 megapixel camera, without a doubt, is its optical image stabilization. This technology compensates for handshake and ensures good low-light performance. If you want to take everything we just mentioned and ramp it into overdrive, check out the Nokia Lumia 1020. With its 41 megapixel sensor, advanced optical image stabilization, xenon flash and enthusiast-centric camera UI, it's the camera phone to beat. Touching on the UI in a bit more detail, the Nokia camera app offers manual focus and shutter speed control, as well as a smart burst mode adding special effects to your snaps. On the subject of special effects, the Sony Xperia Z1 is probably the most special of the bunch. Aside from being a top quality camera phone with its 20 megapixel sensor and an extremely intelligent superior auto shooting mode, it imbues your shots with dinosaurs, gnomes and sea dwellers for those times reality isn't quite as exciting as fantasy. Finally, the Samsung Galaxy S4 Zoom is the only camera of the bunch with an optical zoom lens. This means you can get right into the action from afar should the need arise. Also packing optical image stabilization and a xenon flash, this 60 megapixel camera phone is the most camera-esque of the bunch. In fact, given its heft, we'd be inclined to call it a camera first and a smartphone second. There are a few rules of thumb that can help you when buying your next camera phone. The first thing to bear in mind is megapixel count, which usually impacts detail levels. Provided you've got around 8 megapixels or more, you should be fine unless you're planning an exhibition. To avoid grainy pictures in low light, optical image stabilization is also good to have. This can be found on the HTC One in addition to the LG G2, Nokia Lumia 1020 and Galaxy S4 Zoom mentioned earlier. Depending on your level of enthusiasm for photography, it's worth noting that iPhones are notoriously easy to use. Android and Windows phones give you a lot more options, but as a result can be more confusing. Our last tip would be to check out reviews online to see how the camera performs on the specific phone you're after. With any luck, that's made your decision making a little easier.